Hey guys, it's yours truly. I'm here today with a top 10 favorite books. These are just my personal favorites that I've read so far. It's really, yeah, I haven't read that much this year, so I might actually have more books to add to this list. So let's get on with it. So, number 10 has to go to this guy. That scared me. It's Slapstick or Lonesome No More by Kurt Vonnegut. You'll see a lot of Kurt Vonnegut in my thing. I don't know if it's cheating, but whatever. I really love this book. It basically deals with like a post-apocalyptic New York where the man that tells you the story is mayor of Manhattan, and it's very like futuristic, dark humor, sci-fi, fantasy. Not fantasy. That wouldn't be fantasy. It's not really a fantasy. It's science fiction, I would say. It's more science fiction than fantasy, but it's really good. Like, if you don't know Vonnegut, you should probably start reading Vonnegut because, like, I I read one of his books and I instantly fell in love with him. But yeah, this is just my number 10. It's very clever, it, like Vonnegut is. Vonnegut is really genius. Like I sadly didn't realize it up until late that he's a genius. But I really love Slapstick. I recommend it a lot. Like, it's really good. Number 9. I think I have 10. Yeah. Okay, and number 9 is The Hobbit. Again, I really love fantasy and high fantasy, dark fantasy. Pretty much a lot of the smaller genres in fantasy I really enjoy. But yeah, The Hobbit is The Hobbit is one of those books that everyone should read. It's an adventure. It has mythical creatures. It has elves. It has dwarves. I mean, how can you not love it? Like, it's just a fun novel that takes you through sad experiences, happy experiences. It, it's like you're in an adventure yourself with these people. And I really recommend this book. Okay, number 8 would be this guy, which is Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Now, this is kind of a darker novel. Again, this is kind of a dystopia. Allegorical dystopia, I would call it. I don't know if it's actually a thing, but that's what I would call it. It shows you what things would be like if society reverted to its basic human desires, which is basically, you know, these kids get stuck on an island, and since they're small, they don't know, too much of right from wrong, so they start being all like savage, and it's a very difficult subject, I guess, but it's a subject that should be covered, and William Golding does it perfectly and marvelously. I really, really enjoyed this book as much as this book scared me. So, like, it's excellent. I would recommend anyone to read it. Next book. This I again talked about in a video, but I deleted it so because I didn't like the quality that my video was, because I was just like rambling. But it's The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, and I know I said that weird, but Gaston Leroux. And this is again the unabridged version. And what can I say about this book? It's beautiful. I really, really enjoy that this man wrote in this way, and the book is translated in this specific way, and I do not recommend the trash that is the abridged version, because that is awful. From personal experience, I read the abridged version and it was trash. I did not like how it was translated, or, you know, anything. Why am I holding the book? Yeah, anyway, yeah, it was not very good. And I'm actually really happy I got this. I'm so happy that I have this, because I don't see any other unabridged ones. And again, I recommend this book very much. You know the basic story of the Phantom of the Opera. Scarred guy lives in the catacombs of the under the opera house and around it, and haunts this girl and yada yada. You know, but it's good. It's good. It's a good love story tragedy. It's awesome. Read it. If you get your hands on an unabridged copy, read it. 10 out of 10. Okay, next one on the list. 9876. So number 5, I guess. Surprisingly, Flowers for Algernon. I know this is not a common book or something I wouldn't normally read, but I really enjoyed this book. My experience with this book is that in middle school, no, what am I saying? In high school, we were just reading a few pages from it, and I was just so in love with the writing style that I had to get it. I had to get this book. It talks about the story of, what's his name again? Not Algernon. Algernon is someone completely different. Charlie. And he gets, he's basically like a retarded person. Yeah. Basically gets a surgery that would make him smart, and he becomes this really, really smart and intelligent guy. Like, his life changes completely, and like it's just really a wonderful, wonderful story. But it's also sad. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's really, really sad and amazing at the same time. Like, it took me through this emotional journey, and it's a wonderful, wonderful book. I recommend everyone to read this. Read this, guys. Read this book. It's good. It's a little longer than, I guess. It's around like 308 pages. But it's so worth it. It's by Daniel Keyes. Yeah. Moving on. I love books, if you haven't noticed. Okay, where am I? So, number 9867. I can't count, by the way, so fuck basic mathematics. This Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. It's very short. It's less than 100 pages. It actually is 107 pages. I lied. But it's really good. It's about these two guys. One of them again is kind of retarded or stupid. I don't remember. And the other one is like just like a worker guy that like walks with him and like takes care of him. I guess he's like his like caretaker. I was like, what is that word? Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's kind of sad. Some people probably read this in high school if they read books at all. If they should read books, but it's this wonderful story, and yeah. Basically, the one guy wants to get a farm, but he's always held back by the big retarded guy because he just can't like control himself. Just read it and you'll know what this is about. Okay, time for one more book. Gatsby. I love Gatsby, by the way. Yeah, it's one of my favorite novels of all time. Again, you probably know the story. I think I'll have to cut short. Wait, we're back. Sorry, I was running out of room, so I had to cut. But anyway, we were talking about Gatsby. It's one of my favorite novels of all time, basically. Now, it deals with the American dream, what is considered the American dream, why people go after the American dream, and it's very like up to debate on the characters' feelings toward each other, even sexuality-wise, surprisingly. Like, many people can say, like, Nick is gay or something because don't really see him hooking up with any girl, so it's just like, I really love the wonderful feeling it gives me and the sadness. Like, it also took me on an emotional journey because I really got attached to the main characters and I really felt sad when they met their end, basically. Spoilers, I guess. It's just a sad and beautiful novel. Even though I heard that Fitzgerald wasn't the nicest kind of person, really. I really love his way of writing and thinking. I don't know, I just really love this book. Also, I had another book, so I'm gonna edit so it's like a top 11 or whatever, But next on the list is something I read in school, but later went back to, and it's this novel. Fahrenheit 451. Ray Bradbury, again, like a dystopia. As much as I say I hate dystopian novels, I really love dystopian novels. It's kind of weird. It's like a love-hate relationship. But it's about Montag, who's a cop. I'm a cop. He's not a cop, he's a fireman. I don't know why he said he was a cop. Montag! Shaft! Montag! I don't know, I can't do that voice. But anyway. And he burns books, and books are banned because they make you think, and this is hilarious because it's a book and it's about it's a book about burning books, basically, and it's so weird. Book face. Book face. Gee, those are the jokes, guys. Those are my jokes. Book face. Anyway, it's really a wonderful story about society and how far knowledge can go and what this book represents. It's amazing. Like, I really love books like this that make me think about our society and world, and it's marvelous. Like, it's one of my, again, favorite books. I really recommend you read them again if you have read them before, but it was a long time ago. It's very good. I don't know if I can see. Okay, next on the list. This is just a list now. Another Vonnegut. I know. I covered Vonnegut, but I'm making the rules here. But anyway, the Slaughterhouse-Five is... Okay, that was freaky. I thought I saw something. Anyway. Yeah, this is like a video gone wrong. Anyway. Yeah, Slaughterhouse-Five is one of those novels that is really confusing and it goes everywhere, it seems, at once. But it's really, like, Vonnegut does this masterfully. There's this whole timeline thing, and, like, he must have done, like, a timeline thing to keep track of everything. At least I hope he did. Because one moment the main character is this, and it's this year, and the next it's this year, and the next is this year, and is this all a lie? Is he, like, is he after, like, a trauma? Is he dying? Is he having a near-death experience? That's kind of the same thing, but like, where is he right now? How does he know these things? And this book is just amazing, and, like, putting this down and actually thinking about it again makes it even more confusing and fascinating at the same time. So this is definitely a really good read. There's, like, war elements in it and time travel, so it's like science fiction again and kind of war novel. Science fiction war novel, basically. But pick this up, read it, it's amazing. If you haven't already, just saying. Again, going back to Steinbeck, I've actually read this for college some time ago, but this is the edition, actually. But yeah, it's called In Dubious Battle, and as much as I looked for this novel on, like, websites, I guess it's not as known as, like, Grapes of Wrath and, like, East of Eden. But it's a great novel. Again, it's in the same spirit as Of Mice and Men. And it's about two guys who are, like, protesting, and, they want better jobs and work, and, like, they want to stop being oppressed and, basically used as slaves. And it's about this one guy who just goes there and joins them, and, he has all these experiences, and it's sort of like a martyr's book. Okay, that was weird again. But then again, it's a really wonderful novel that makes you think, and everyone should really read this, along with other Steinbeck novels. To the great reveal of my number one most liked, I guess, book. Vonnegut again. Yes, Vonnegut. Vonnegut. Ever since I picked up this book, I was a fan of Vonnegut. Again, I read this in not this. I read Vonnegut in high school. I read one of his short stories. I did not like it absolutely, completely. It was not my thing. So I was just like, yeah, I'm one of those, authors that are just like shoved down your throats. And they're like whatever. They have like one work that they're really like famous for, and that's it. Uh, it's not like that. And I was actually surprisingly pleased that it was not like that, and that this novel opened my eyes. It's about the end of the world and how it happened, and just this guy's experience. It's very in the spirit of slapstick, but a lot different, but also the same. I would actually say that they seem to be in the same universe, but that would be bogus, so I'm not gonna say anything else. But yeah, Vonnegut novels are like really easy to read. Like, you just start and they're just interesting and they draw you in, and they're pretty amazing. Okay, my setup is awful, but anyway. Anyway, yeah, Cat's Cradle is just amazing. It's really easy to read. It has like really short chapters that I actually really like about Vonnegut, because it makes it like so much quicker, and it, as much as it is a heavy book, it's very easy to read, and it's not really about character attachment, but you do like the characters. But it's again, it's an easy read, even though it's like 200 pages or something. But if you're into like really short books, or like really quick books to read, this is the stuff for you. So this was my top 11, I guess, list. I hope you like it. Leave some feedback. I will see you guys